Europe and welcome back to Chef's Choice. We can already feel the tension in the air from the upcoming battle that's about to go down in just a few days' time. And this time I'm actually talking about Eurovision, not Game of Thrones. The rehearsals are well on their way, and as much as I tried to avoid looking at any rehearsal footage or pictures, it was unavoidable in the end. So I did see some snippets here and there, but I don't know nearly enough to predict anything from it, except that I'm not a big fan of the stage this year so far, to be honest. Something about that center spike that serves as a runway really messes with my sense of perspective, especially when the camera zooms in from a wide shot. If they actually do zoom in from time to time, apparently the Twitter fandom is not happy about all the wide shots, but let's see what happens on Tuesday and Thursday. I'm excited. But now, for the grand final, if you're watching it at home, there's always the issue that there is so little time to prepare anything to eat or drink while the show is running, because we don't want to miss anything. So having everything ready is key. That's why 2 years ago I made a video about the Big Five snacks, food inspired by the Big Five countries. But what should we eat this year? Look no further, because I've prepared 12 dishes, yes, 12, inspired by the top betting favorites. What I didn't anticipate when I was already planning my shopping list is that the betting odds would of course be changing during the rehearsals, and that's exactly what happened. Azerbaijan suddenly is on 4th place and Switzerland fell to 6th. So I quickly had to add an Azeri dish as well. But they are all quite easy dishes to do, especially when you don't do them from scratch. Some things you can just buy and pimp up. And I will put all the recipes in the description below, because this will be just a montage of me cooking all these things. So to get the details, you can look at the description. So inspired by the Netherlands, I have fries with delicious jopje sauce and a ketchup curry sauce, and poffertjes, which are kind of like small pancakes. From Russia, it wasn't easy to find recipes for some kind of snack, but they do like their beets, so I made beet chips, and something for towards the end of the night, kartoshkas, which are basically crumbly, buttery chocolate balls. For Sweden, I made pickled cucumbers, which I always wanted to do because I love pickles, and heta nötter, which means hot nuts, and are a delicious mix of nuts and seeds covered in honey, balsamic vinegar and chili. They're spicy, sweet, sour and salty at the same time, and I'm a fan of these. And for Switzerland, I also realized snack-wise we don't really have that much to offer except for cheese and dried meat, so I'm doing a snack version of military cheese bread, which is the only good thing that comes from the military, and I'm doing Bündnerfleisch chips, which is the absolute easiest but most rewarding thing to do. Fun fact about the military cheese breads, or well, not so much fun actually. The dish has been around for decades in the military, but in 1940 an accident happened where the kitchen apparently used mineral oil that was meant to oil machine guns, but wasn't properly labeled for cooking. And many soldiers got poisoned and suffered for the rest of their lives, and they became famous as the oil soldiers. So remember not to cook with your machine gun oil. Then for Italy, I already did the mini pizzas last time, so this time I'm making breaded ravioli, so kind of like a Wiener Schnitzel but with ravioli. I've never heard of that before, but apparently that's a thing and I love it. But we also need something to drink, so Italy gives us also the Americano, which is a softer version of a Negroni with soda water instead of gin. My boyfriend loves Negroni, but for me it's actually far too bitter, but the things you do for love. But as I mentioned before, Azerbaijan suddenly creeped into the top favorites, so I'm also making a kuku or QQ, I don't know, which is kind of a frittata with a lot of herbs. And because I still would love to see Iceland win, although I haven't seen the rehearsals yet, I also wanted to do something to honor them. So I'm making a blueberry slushy with a hint of vodka. So yeah, all in all, it's a lot to do, but individually they are all very easy to make. So if you're as crazy as I am, you should plan in a whole day for cooking. But now finally, here's what it all looks like. Tell me in the comments below what you might try yourself. But now enjoy watching me cook and see all the dishes. Bye.
Just one spark, I could make it burn for you and me. If I could be there, I would be there. Hear me, I could be the sun that lights your dark. Is it too late for love? Is it too late for love? Hear me, I can make it burn for you and me. Days came and went, but nothing ever really felt the same. But you left a space where everything reminds me of your face. Is it too late for love? should carry on. No, you need a something like your dog. Maybe I will lit your world with just one spark. No, I can make it burn for you and me. If I could be there, I would be there. Hear me, I could be the sun that lights your dark. Is it too late for love? Is it too late for love? But is it too late for love? Is it?
I noticed her when she arrived. Kinda lady that mama like, but mama she ain't here tonight. Getting rowdy, rowdy. When she poured out the little spice, got the whole place on a vibe. Monday night and a Friday night. Getting rowdy, rowdy. She let her body talk. She made the party stop. She getting naughty, yeah. Dropping it down. When she go low, when she go low, she goes solo, she goes solo. Oh she know, she got me dirty dancing. When she go low, when she go low, she goes solo, she goes solo. Oh she know, she got me dirty dancing, dirty dancing. Dirty dancing. Dirty dancing. Oh she lighting the fire now, going wild like an animal. All ain't gonna sweat it out. Getting rowdy, rowdy. Turning heads and turning up, breaking necks, she breaking cups. Look at her, can't get enough. Getting rowdy, rowdy. She let her body talk. She made the party stop. She getting naughty, yeah. Dropping it down. When she go low, when she go low, she goes solo, she goes solo. Oh she know, she got me dirty dancing. When she go low, when she go low, she goes solo, she goes solo. Oh she know, she got me dirty dancing, dirty dancing. Dirty dancing. All the boys go, all the girls go, everyone go. She got us dirty dancing. When she go low, when she go low, she goes solo, she goes solo. Oh she know, she got me dirty dancing. She got me dirty dancing, dirty dancing. Oh she got me dirty dancing, yeah. She got me, got me, got me. When she go low, she goes solo. Yeah, she got me dirty dancing, dirty dancing.
A broken heart is all that's left. I'm still fixing all the cracks. Lost a couple of pieces when I carried it home. I'm afraid of all I am. My mind feels like a foreign land. Silence ringing inside my head. Please carry me home. I spent all of the love I saved. We were always a losing game. Small town boy in a big arcade. I got addicted to a losing game. All I know, loving you is a losing game. How many pennies in the slot? Giving us up didn't take a lot. I saw the end for it begun. Still I carried on. Get me off this roller coaster.